Christina, great to see you again. I got to let folks know on Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, RudyBlairMedia.com. Christina had to remind me that we've spoken before. In fact, I've done an interview with you. In my old age, I was forgetting. I apologize about that.
All good.
Um, but it's great to see you. And even more importantly, not just because we're going to talk about you being part of Honey Jam, your career, wow, with the apostrophe. Amazing career. How are you feeling about this blowing up the way it has?
It's been a crazy ride. I feel like it's just a testament to the fact that what you're supposed to do is always going to find you. COVID through university, whatever it is, you're just going to always be where you need to be. I think timing was such an incredible tool in everything just happening the way it did. So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful to be here and to still be in the game.
Look, I went through your Instagram. I'm seeing red carpets. Were you backstage with a certain R&B group at a certain casino? Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yes, Blackstreet. Oh, those are my boys. I love them. So I had the opportunity to perform in East Point, Georgia, and I had basically opened for them. So it was a show with Kiki Wyatt, Blackstreet, Jacquees, and Christina Smith. And so yeah, and so we'd performed for them and they ended up inviting us to their show in Ontario. I believe it was Aurelia. And so they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're here, like come backstage." So we ended up seeing them again. So that was the second time we had met them. They're so
That's
lovely.
Casino Rama is where you were.
Yes. Yes.
Did you ever think in a million years you'd be doing performances, red carpets, hanging out with icons, and making and turning your career into something that is not just wonderful to experience, but also inspiring to other young people trying to get into the industry, and especially the travels that you have traveled?
You know what? I always knew that I wanted to be in the arts. However it happened, I just knew that I had to just stay in the game. And so I never knew that it would look like this. And so I'm grateful, but I also recognize that there are younger generations watching and seeing how you can do things. I think we always want to go the traditional route. If I had done that, I would have been at a classical music school. I would have done the traditional opera route, but I knew that that wasn't my journey, and so I was determined to find my way, find my path, and do it the way that felt the most authentic. And I'm really, really glad that it's paying off and that it's also inspiring younger artists.
We're going to talk a little bit about that in your career. But we got to talk about the big 3-0, Honey Jam, that
What?
you are back on this. Congratulations. How does it feel returning and representing?
It feels so good. I mean, Honey Jam has been such an integral part of my career. I mean, when we did our first interview, it was 2019. And that
Wow.
was when I know. And that was when I had just done the program. And so it feels very full circle right now to be able to do it in a different light with all the new experiences that I've had in the last couple of years. So I'm really excited to do it and do it with some of my closest friends that I've met through the program.
How does it feel being part of the elite when you throw out all these names who have been part of this and your name is right there? How does it feel?
I am like that feels so strange. I'm like I'm like, who am I? I just showed up last week.
You showed up and you just burned the house down. What has Honey Jam done for you personally?
Oh my goodness. It has given me, like I said, it's given me a network of women that are so genuinely supportive of each other. We push each other. We also, like, we pray for each other. We sing together. We do so much. And I'm just so grateful. We've also gone on trips. We did a New York trip in 2021, and that was an artist development trip where we got to go to see labels and
Oh,
ask a bunch
yeah.
of questions. Yeah. So we've done so much. We've gone to award shows and just like really gotten a lot of inspiration from other artists as well. One of my favorite things that we've done was we got to do a talk with Elle Varner, and that was in 2019. And that was kind of one of those moments where I was like, oh, I really could do this. I could do this long term. And it's not as far off as it seems. I think sometimes we see the glitz and the glamour and all that stuff, but we realize that artists are really just people. And when you can build relationships with other artists and solidify them and maintain them, I think that also gets you a little closer to where you need to be.
What about Mama Ebony, who is getting her flowers finally? Order of Canada. What do you think about that?
I could not be more thrilled. I don't think there's anyone I know that's more deserving of that. I don't think that you get to 30 years with this program by accident. I think that's
Mm.
so much determination, that is so much passion, so much drive. And I'm so like I get emotional thinking about it for her. I think that like she just is so deserving and I'm glad that she's getting her flowers.
Definitely deserving. Let's talk a little bit about your career because you mentioned the word opera.
Yeah.
Why is that word basically so important to your career when you started out?
Well, yeah, because I think when I had just started out, I was going the traditional route in some way and form. I was just doing like the traditional repertoire, but I hadn't gone to school for music. So at the
Mhm.
same time, it was still this kind of like in between where it's like I don't fully fit in here, but I don't fully fit in there either. What's my path? And so uh, this year I decided I had gone through too much, and I was like, honestly, what the fuck? And you can bleep that out if you want to, but yeah, and so I just started just like I remember I'd seen a TikTok by another creative named Crystal, and she had done a similar rendition of it, and I was like, oh, let's build on this because this is so relatable. And so I was doing a lot of like opera covers of things. I call them popra covers. And they just kind of took off this year. And so I was like, okay, this feels like the right avenue to be in. It's both opera, but it's also like the authentic feelings. And it reminds you that a lot of opera and classical music really are just everything that you hear in a pop song today.
But the thing is, though, 20, 30 years ago, you would not seen a beautiful young black woman like yourself saying, I want to be part of opera. That would not have been, or classical. That would not have been the genre that they would have picked. They would have done pop. They would have done R&B. They would have done soul, something like that. In a lot of ways, you are still considered a groundbreaker in going, wait a minute, y'all can't put me in a box. I can do what I want to do, how I want to do it. And people should also realize too that genre is probably one of the best when it comes to vocals. Opera and gospel. Those are
Mm,
the two best.
I couldn't agree more. I think, but I can't fully take credit for it myself because I've had so many Black women who've inspired me to dive in. The late, great Jessie Norman said it best. She said, pigeonholes are only comfortable for pigeons. And so she was someone who was so intentional about making sure that people didn't limit themselves, especially in classical music. She said, there's no reason that somebody who loves Beethoven shouldn't also love music of the Silk Road. And so it was like she just was so open-minded, and I think people like that really inspire me. There's Kathleen Battle, Canada's own Misha Bruegger-Rosman. Like
Oh,
those people have always been they've been women, Portia White as well. Those women have always inspired me. And so I think they've set the blueprint and I just get to carry it out. And I'm grateful for that.
definitely. And at least you're one of those people who say her name correctly, Bruger Gosman. A lot of people don't care, they can't do it. So
What
good
do
on
they
you for
say?
Bruger, that you cookie monster kind of thing, you know. New music. What's going on with that with you?
Yeah, there is some stuff in the works. I can't talk too much about it right now, but
Mhm.
there is stuff in the works, and it is going to be very much in the same line of classical fusion, mixing it with some other things that are a little bit more contemporary. And so I'm really excited for people to hear what's in store.
Well, we're going to hear something from you because you will be performing at the 30th.
Yes.
So, what are you going to be performing? What's the performance going to be like?
Yes, so the theme for this concert is inspirations. And so
Mhm.
what I believe most of us are doing are like we're doing tributes to the artists who've really inspired us. And for me, I what I wanted from my performance was not only to put a spotlight on artists, but also on everyday women. So there's this piece, I've called it A Woman's Worth. And so it's encompassing of work from Halle Bailey, FKA Twigs, Kate Bush, but also Ludovic Einaudi, who is an Italian composer. And I think it really speaks to all the things that I've been inspired by, especially as a Black woman, but knowing what women go through, I think that was something that I really wanted to be able to highlight in this performance. And it promises to be a very, very emotional performance.
Cannot wait. Other shows coming up for you in 2025?
Yes, I'm actually going to be performing the Black National Anthem for the City of Toronto on August 1st. And that is, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is for the, I believe it's the I might have the name wrong, but I believe it's the Emancipation or Black Liberation Day. So they're celebrating that, and I get to be able to
You
perform.
got that right. No, you got it right. You got it
Okay.
correct. So very, very important. Plus the fact it's going to be, as I like to call it, Caravan Weekend.
I
So
know.
So it sounds like it's going to be a great time, everything leading up to all this. I got to say, congratulations. Thank you for being such a groundbreaker and sticking to your guns and what you want to do. I'm going to be there at the show. Looking forward to your performance. Let's get a picture in so I don't forget these things.
Absolutely.
And like I said, just looking forward to everything you're doing. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rudy. Thanks for having me.